This is gonna be the easiest guide to complete the entirety of the Citadelle de Mort Easter egg. Without further ado, let's get into it. First step of the Easter egg is to open up Pack-a-Punch. This step is very easy. You just follow the markers on your screen into the castle all the way to the very bottom, shoot the locks off, and then shoot the mini boss that spawns out of here. He will drop a crystal, put that exactly where that mini boss spawned, and you will get Pack-a-Punch. And from there, just run over to where Quick Revive is, and right behind that, you will see a barred cell door. Hold F on that, and you will see Kraft inside. Once you've talked to Kraft, you are in the Easter egg, and essentially you are ready to start collecting 4 ritual items and 4 elemental sword upgrades. To start the sword, you need to get to round 10 because you're gonna need stamps, which only start spawning post round 10. But to get the ritual items, you can start these at any time. To make this easy, I'm gonna have all 4 ritual items and all 4 sword upgrades all broken down in the bottom of this video so you can skip to whatever you need to do. But just know you're gonna need all 4 ritual items and all 4 elemental sword upgrades to progress to the next steps. So once you get to round 10, a special type of zombie will spawn with a bucket on his head. All you need to do after round 10 is to kill this zombie and he will drop a stamp. These stamps are used to actually unlock the swords so you can pick them up and put them down out of the knight's hands in the main room, and you can only hold one at a time. So what I recommend doing whenever you get one of these stamps, go back to the knight's room, give it to a new knight, and interact with it so you basically have all of these swords readied up for you whenever you're ready to move on, because the next step is going to be upgrading all the swords. The first sword we are going to look at is the Lion Sword, or the Light Sword, and whenever you pick up this sword, there will be glowing parasites that start spawning all around the map. Simply what you must do is melee one of these parasites and your sword will start glowing yellow. Make your way down this side of the map over by Speed Cola and find this door and melee this door. You will need to do this 4 different times with 4 different parasites. And again, each one you melee will put another symbol on this door. Repeat 4 times and this door should open. Once you've collected all 4 symbols, go hold F on the door. You'll enter inside here and you'll have a few seconds to reach the end of the hall. Hold F again, it will place the sword inside of the pedestal and start showing symbols on the pedestal itself. Once you see which symbol it is, look up in the air and you'll see a bunch of symbols floating around. Shoot the coring spawning one, and you just need to shoot these all 4 in order. It's a very, very easy puzzle. Whatever it shows on the pedestal, shoot in the air, and once you do all 4, the sword will be finished. You'll be able to pull it out of the pedestal and have the light sword fully completed. So the next sword upgrade we're gonna get is the Stag Deer Sword, aka the electric sword, and this one is going to require us to collect 3 different parts from around the map. The first of which can be obtained by going to any armory machine, putting on dead wire onto your guns, and you will actually be able to see the first lightning rod that we're gonna be collecting up on top of this antenna, which can be gotten down by just shocking this little electric box with dead wire. It will fly right off and you can collect it. The second part is going to spawn on the left side of the map over here next to Deadshot. It will just be sitting on the ground on the lower left of it. You can pick that up immediately. To get the third lightning rod, what you need to do is progress through the rounds and just keep on killing zombies and make sure you're looking if they drop any loot. These armored zombies have a high chance of dropping this lightning rod, which once you pick up, you will have the third one and you're ready to go ahead and start the upgrade process. Once you have all 3 lightning rod parts, head over to this little cauldron on the hillside ramparts and you're gonna put them all inside of this little area. This will spawn an electric cloud around you once you melee it with a sword, which will basically persist until you leave this area. So all you need to do is just run around, live in this area with your sword out, and you will be struck by lightning. As you are struck by lightning, just head over to the little cauldron once again, melee it, and you need just to repeat this 3 times. On the 3rd time, the sword will be electrified, you will run over and melee it, and it will be finished. The lightning sword will go away, and you can actually insert the sword just by interacting with it into that little cauldron. It'll become electrified, and a few seconds later, you'll be able to pull it out, all fully upgraded, and there you have it. The lightning sword is in your hands. The next upgrade is going to be the Raven Sword. So once you grab this Raven Sword, you're gonna head into this room, and I'll go ahead and say right now, this sword is the one with the most combinations. It is probably the hardest one to do just because it requires like either a ton of knowledge or checking the link in the description. There's gonna be a link in the description that has every single combination you can possibly have that will basically solve this entire thing for you. But what you need to do is in this room, or again, if you're not finding it in this room, check the link in the description. You're going to find an actual fossil, a piece of something, an antique of some sort that is going to exist in this room, or again, if you're not finding it, link in the description for all of the locations. But first, you need to grab that. Reminder that when you pick this up, it will go into your key items right here so you can tell whether you have it or not, and immediately you're gonna go get rid of it from your key items by placing it on the wall down here. This will basically enable a little thing. You put your sword inside of it, and then you need to put in the code. Once you make your way down to this wheel, interact with it, and you're going to see whatever artifact you have in the center and 2 rings, an outer ring and an inner ring. This is very, very simple at this point. Go down to the link in the description, click on it, and match whatever artifact you have with the artifact in the chart. That chart is going to give you the 2 different symbols you need to do, which you need to put on the bottom part of this. There's a little arrow at the bottom from where you inserted your sword that is pointing upward. Put your 2 symbols there and go ahead and interact with it and lock that in, and you will be done. Very, very simple. It's a lot easier than it seems. Just match the chart to your symbols and submit it. Once you are done with this, these little orbs will follow and attack you. It's best to do this when you don't have any zombies, and you need to lead them over to this little area on the floor, which will actually suck them up. If they manage to get to you and actually touch you, they are going to hurt you. But if you lead them over to the area on the floor, this will actually complete it and make it move to the next location. Once it moves to the second location, once again, same exact thing. Again, very, very recommended to have just 1 zombie at the end of the round, but these things will follow you over. When they get close to this portal, they'll be sucked in, and once it sucks in enough, it'll move to the next location. And at the 3rd and final location, once you get all of that completed, you will see the portal actually disappear, turn into its own little orb that will move back down to the bottom, giving you the void sword, which you can pull out of here. And once it goes down into the void there, it'll come out the upgraded void sword, and you are ready to go to the next step.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is going to be an easy guide, super simple for you to get yourself the fire sword in CITADELLE.
Yes, that's right. It is me, Mr. Waffles. Thank you, Milo, for introducing me, Mr. Waffles, to give this tutorial. Noah J456 would never do this tutorial. Anyway, to do the fire sword in this map, all you need to do is head over to the dragon, which is at the very top of the stairs by Jug. And then you need to make your way outside and head over to this little cauldron. Whenever you interact with this cauldron, you are going to catch on fire. When you are on fire, you're going to take damage every couple of seconds. And the only thing that will regen your health is to get a melee kill on one of the zombies that spawns in front of you, or just book it all the way back to the dragon. Either one will recharge your health to the absolute maximum, but if you take a hit, if you don't do it quick enough, if you just basically stall at any point, you will actually die from this. So it's something you want to do and you want to be set up to do whenever there's not too many zombies in the round and you are ready to actually make this run. You are able to make all of these runs if you have stamina without stopping, and you won't have to kill any zombies or do anything like that. You can just run past everything and avoid them. But if you don't have stamina, again, make sure you're meleeing those zombies that spawn in front of you to regen your health all the way to full. Anyway, you need to do this 3 times, and on the 3rd and final one, the sword will go down into the dragon. It will come back out the fully upgraded sword, and you are good to go to the next step. So that concludes all 4 of the sword upgrades. The next thing we're going to be doing is showing you how to get all 4 of the ritual items and the associated soul box at the end of each ritual item. Again, this can be done in any order, but I'm going to be showing you how to get all 4 of those ritual items and the associated soul box finished right now. One of the ritual items you need to get is actually the electrified Pegasus Horseshoe, which can be found just by coming down here to the stable, shooting that off the wall and grabbing that off the floor. Once you have this ritual item, you just need to take this cannon and you will be actually shot and electrified in mid-air as you're flying through the air. And once you are shocked, you'll see an electric storm cloud spawn somewhere in the arena. It can spawn on that side, it can spawn on this side, but follow that electric storm cloud to the bottom of it and you will find this electrified Pegasus Horseshoe. Obviously, it'll spawn in some zombies alongside of it, but once you grab that, you should be good to go on to the next step. Once you have the electrified horseshoe, head over to the spawn and this symbol should appear on the ground. Go ahead and place that in there, and once it's done raising up, this will basically turn into a gigantic soul box where you just need to fill this up with a bunch of souls from zombies throughout the round. Once it's finished, this will come out of the floor and you are ready to go. The next ritual item we're gonna get is very, very easy. It just requires you to burn 3 different piles of wood that are all laying around the map. You can do this with Molotovs, you can do this with a thermo grenade, or you can do the fire blast from the upgraded fire sword. But basically, you just need to catch all of these on fire. If done correctly, you will see souls flying out of this thing that you'll just be able to kill the zombies just as per usual. This will be the hardest throw if you are doing the Molotov strategy. You just need to chuck it over there. Miss the first one totally on purpose to show how difficult it is, and the second one will come flying out. And last but not least, over here behind this little wall that you can buy if you'd like to, you can find the third one. I'm gonna use a thermo grenade for that one. Light it on fire. And as you can see, these souls will come out for the final time. However, with this one, once you clear all the zombies, all of them will shoot a giant soul over into the other side of the map, which will spawn a double gas. And killing that, he will just go ahead and drop the Ankh on the floor right there. So once you have that, you're on to the next step. And the soul box slash upgrade station for the Ankh is right in this courtyard on the ground. Once again, place it down and blast some zombies. It will assimilate all of the souls. And once done, you will see this box raise out of the ground, granting you the next part. For the next ritual item, it's very, very simple. In this knight's chamber, you will see a light up above. Basically, what you want to do is just go to different areas of the room and just keep angling this light until it actually connects to the different areas. Again, just try different angles until one connects and it will actually activate the next one. And if done correctly, it will continue to connect around all the way over to this little bust, which will go ahead and spawn you the Paladin's Brooch, which you can pick up, and that is now ready for its soul box. The soul box for this one is actually just inside the first room that you started. Place that thing down. After a few seconds, soul box will activate, and then of course, fill it up with all of the zombies, and there you have it, next one completed. So for the Raven ritual item, what you need to do is just go ahead and take this cave slide, and as you're sliding down, you're going to look for a Raven. Once you scare him off, go ahead and watch where he flies to and continue laying into him, and he will drop a very, very important ritual part. Pick that thing up and it is ready for its soul box. So once again, you're going to find this little area in the Undercroft, place that Raven Claw down. Once the Raven Claw is down, blast through the zombies, and it will once again, once it's finished with the souls, reveal this box. And you are done with this one for now. So the next step has to do with this wall. Again, you can do this wall at really any point in your run, but there's no real reason to do it before the time that we're gonna be doing it in this Easter egg. So come over to this wall and you're gonna go ahead and hit it with melee macchiato. You can't do it with a sword, you just need to hit it with your normal fist with melee macchiato, and you're gonna reveal all of these symbols. So once you have revealed that wall with melee macchiato, head over to the bar, and once you're inside the bar, you're gonna see these little jugs, each one with a Roman numeral. Interact with it and you'll get a symbol, and you need to write these down in order 1 to 6. My second one is here, which is that symbol, which I'm just gonna write on like a piece of paper or in my phone, on the notepad. There's my third symbol. 4 is here, which is just a circle in my game. Again, these change every single game. There's number 5, and finally, symbol number 6. I'm gonna write each of those down and head back to the wall. Once you're at the wall, you just need to shoot these symbols in order, knowing that they rotate every time. If done correctly, this will actually open up this little area right next to it. Melt that away and you'll see a book missing some pages. To get the pages, head up the staircase and you're gonna come to this little couch room, and in this room, and basically in the little outskirts of this room, there are 4 of these pages with 4 different symbols. Pick these up in any order. Again, it doesn't really matter. There's my second one right there. My third one is over here, and the fourth one is out here. Again, they can be kind of like spread out around on the edges. There's my fourth one, and we're gonna head back down to where we just saw that book. Once you put the 4 pages in, this is gonna give you 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4 pages in order that you need to do, and what these pages are actually 4 different traps around the map. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. The first trap we need to get a bunch of kills on for a soul box is going to be this symbol right here. So we go around to the map and look at all the different traps. This is not correct because you can see it's only that little eye lit up. That is going to be a later trap that we use. But if we come down here, we can match the exact number of steeples to the eye, everything. We know that this is actually the correct trap. So all we have to do is get a couple of kills on there, and you'll see that it actually deactivates very, very quickly. And that basically means it is possibly the right one. If you've done the right one, you will see that it is actually grayed out of the journal. And we come down here, and yes, we did get the exact symbol correct. Again, these things look super similar, and they'll basically gray out very, very quickly every single time. So you have to come down to this little area and make sure you've done it correctly. But yep, there's the first one, so now we're on to the second one. As you can see, this is the eyeball with a bunch of little squigglies coming out of it for the eyelash there. So again, get a couple of kills there. Only takes a few, and we're gonna go back and check once again. And we're good to go. There's 2 out of 4. Now on to this one. This can be done on bug rounds, but here's my next symbol. Once we have confirmed it is the correct symbol, go ahead and keep killing all these. And again, once we kill enough, it'll deactivate. We go over to check, make sure we did it correctly. And there it is. So last but not least, here's our final symbol. Again, activate it once more, get a couple kills, and if done correctly, you are on to the next step. Once you have done all 4 traps correctly, head over here and you should see this basically new symbol on the wall. This was not here before, and this basically tells you the order in which you're going to need to do. For me, this is number 1, electric, 2, fire, 3, lion, 4, raven or void. This is basically the order that we're gonna need to collect a couple different items. So in my game, because I had electric first, we're gonna go ahead and put away this Raven sword, and we're gonna grab the electric sword. And then I need to take the electric sword over to the box that corresponds with electric. So because electric corresponds with the horseshoe, this is the horseshoe box, this will be the same in every game. I just melee that open and I get the electric incantation. So at the electric statue with the electric incantation, which is my tactical slot, I'm gonna go ahead and do that, melee it, and then I'm going to inspect my sword in front of it. And if done correctly, the knight will do a salute to you, and you are done with the first of the 4. Again, my second one is fire, so we're on to fire next. So the one that went with fire is the Ankh right here that we did out here. Remember, we set these all on fire. So fire is going to open this box in particular. Again, it's the same every game. Grab the fire incantation. We're gonna repeat the process. Take this fire sword to the fire statue, melee it with the fire incantation, and then emote in front of it. Basically inspecting your weapon, rather. Whenever I'm saying emoting, you inspect your weapon. And as soon as the inspect is done, he will salute and start glowing once again. Third up for me is lion. So we're gonna go grab the lion or light sword. Again, this changes every single game. So fire sword goes back, light sword comes out. And if you remember the light one that we did, again, basically this little crest here was done in this room. So light sword will open up this box. Boom. Grab the light incantation, same thing. Melee with the tactical slot, inspect your sword. You don't have to stand right in front of it and die, but there we go. Get the salute, start glowing, put the sword back. And last but not least, Raven sword comes out and we head down to the Undercroft. This is our 4th and final one. Just a reminder, melee the box, take the incantation. And last but not least, we're gonna do it over here. Again, if you mess it up or anything like that, these things will reopen up after a cooldown, so you don't have to worry about it. Incantation, using the tactical slot, inspect, and once you are done with this one, the 4th and final night will be finished, and you will see a brand new item come down from the sky. They will bring down the next item for the Easter egg, which basically signifies you are in the home stretch now. When you get the Mystic Orb, it is time for gaming. So once you have the Mystic Orb, you are going to basically do 4 different soul boxes. The first of which is right here. Start the elemental challenge, and then this, basically this element that it is asking for is asking for the element that was basically done as close as possible to this. So if you remember, this is where we did the light incantation and everything. So we are gonna go ahead and pull out the light sword, and we're gonna get kills with the sword. For the light challenge, how I got this one to activate is I just ran around the room getting light sword kills with just swinging the sword and basically running through all of these different light orbs that spawned around this area. I'm not sure if it was the kills I got in it, standing in them, or just running through them, but I was able to complete this pretty darn easily. Just run around this room, getting kills with the sword, and you should be able to complete this one very, very easily, and it will stop collecting souls. You can run up and grab the orb from the wall. So the next orb is down here in the courtyard. It is, again, the fire sword. So you're gonna take out the fire sword, and for this one, just get a bunch of melee kills in this area. All the orbs will get sucked up and go back over to the Mystic Orb, and after you get enough kills, you'll see a big red explosion, and you'll be able to go up and pick up the orb, and your second one out of 4 is finished. The next one is down here right next to where we use the electric sword. So of course this is going to be the electric challenge. Start that elemental challenge up. So for this one, whenever you get an electric proc, which is pretty rare, you'll get some souls to count. But the main way to get souls to count for this one is to use your sword special ability. Every single zombie that dies with this sword special ability will have their souls that count. So again, you just need to get a bunch of kills with your sword, charge up your special ability, use that beam to kill a bunch of zombies, and you'll be good to go on that Mystic Orb. Also, I've heard reports that electric kills in general will work there, but it's much, much easier to just do it with the sword. Again, you can do these in any order, but the last one is down here. Place the Mystic Orb, start the challenge. You'll see the other colors if you've already done the other ones flying around it, knowing that you've already collected those. Again, same thing as the last one. Kill zombies till your special is leveled up. Use the special, and then all of the souls collected from that will go into it. Again, Pulse will come out, and you will have the final upgraded version of the Mystic Orb. So once you have all of the orbs and collected, head over here, place that in the wall, and this will actually blow the zombies away and allow you to enter in to get a little mini cutscene and some lore. Once you're inside, pick this up, and it will begin the mystic recording of the owl, who is basically the keeper of the castle. You can either stay to listen, or you can just grab this guardian key and start getting set up for the boss fight. Before going into the boss fight, it's gonna be your standard recommendation of getting all of the different perks you want, whatever weapon weapons you are bringing in, I would recommend getting it to gold rarity pack-a-punch tier 3. Obviously get armor tier 3, buy monkey bombs, buy decoy grenades, buy things to help keep you alive inside of there if you have enough salvage left over to afford it. And once you are ready, head over to the statue in spawn, interact with this, and this will teleport you to the boss fight. Once you get into the boss fight, it is your pretty standard big guy with a hammer type boss fight. He doesn't really have any crazy special attacks except for leaping across the arena and shooting fireballs at you. That is basically the entirety of the game plan, is just stay away from him so he doesn't swing his hammer at you and hit you. And then whenever he is jumping in the air or shooting fireballs, utilize the terrain, utilize the map to actually stay away from this, slide out of all of his jump attacks and everything like that, and just lay into him with damage. He's going to take pretty standard damage from anything explosive, any of the swords special abilities. All of that is going to be pretty standard damage, but against bullet weapons, he is going to be super armored up in each of his shoulders and each of his legs. Now this will take a lot of bullets to break, and he's going to take barely any damage while you're shooting into him with those bullet weapons to actually break that armor off. But as soon as you do shoot that armor off, it is going to expose weak spots that basically do a ton of damage to him and will basically allow you to chunk him out until he no longer takes critical damage from those areas. This boss fight is a very standard 3-phase boss fight. It is basically one phase, he goes down and goes into a rest formation, spawns in a bunch of zombies, spawns in a bunch of mini bosses and bosses. You have to kill all of these, and once they are all dead, he will come out of his formation and again begin attacking you. Get him down to another third of his health, same exact thing, goes into a little rest formation, more zombies spawn in, and the only difference between these that we have found is that the arena gets smaller and more lava will spawn in on the ground, forcing you to stay closer to the boss. But once again, no wipe attacks to be heard of. There's nothing that we have found that has been super difficult about this, aside from just being in close proximity to the boss. So just lay into him with weapons and you should be able to take him down pretty darn easily. Upon killing him, pick up the artifact that he does drop. You will get the cutscene, and that is the Easter egg completely finished. If this tutorial did help you, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys soon for more videos.